Hello, this is Brett Knowles, and this is a quick overview of the virtual roundtables that we'll be running over the coming months. Now, these roundtables are obviously dealing with the management trauma that we have to deal with in a post-COVID-19 world. And I'm not going to deal with COVID-19. The issue of these roundtables is we've learned something new. We've learned that our businesses are existing in what I would call turbulent times. In a business context, we describe turbulence as the events that hit the organization and their frequency within which we get hit. Now, you really have two strategies to deal with turbulent times. You can be resilient, so like the aircraft carrier that's not affected by waves and so on, you just plow through it. In the business world, you get resilience by building inventories, patents, and so forth, lock in your customers. But even resilience doesn't work with the events that we've been through. So the opposite strategy is agility. So roll with the turbulence. And that's what this roundtable is about, helping all of us learn from each other about how we can learn and react to the turbulence in the business environment. So here's what we've seen. We've seen obviously normal times. So we'll say the beginning of this year, we probably met and came up with a strategy, that overall North Star that we align the organization to. Then we do that alignment. We make sure that all the departments are pulling in the same direction. And then finally, we execute. We get down to the team and individual level and make sure that they're all working in the right way. Business as usual. But COVID-19 comes along and all of a sudden we're into a survival mode. All of a sudden we have to rethink our strategy. And then we have to realign to that new strategy and then figure out how we execute in that new world. And for us, that new world might be remote workers. How is it employees know what they should do and we know they're doing what they should be doing? But it's the same cycle: strategy, analyze and align, and then execute. And the sad part is the story's not over. Like with any turbulence, there's many more waves in front of us. So, beyond survival mode, we're now moving into the new normal. And guess what? For the new normal, we're going to have to strategize, align, and execute. And sometime after the new normal, there's the next normal, and so forth. So we know that the drumbeat of business now doesn't happen to click over conveniently every once a year. It's going to happen whenever it occurs. And the purpose of this roundtable is to learn from each other about those events, trigger events, agility, and so forth. All we know is this strategize, align, execute is a repeating element that we now need to build that capability in our organization. So in this virtual roundtable, we're going to be trying to learn from each of us what we've done through these different phases and what's worked for us and hasn't worked for us. We'll share with you some of the best practices that we've learned over the many organizations we've helped on this journey in the last month or so. And we'll be using online tools that allow us to interactively work, post-it notes, whiteboards, and those sorts of things to develop the understanding, harvest the ideas. During this roundtable, we'll be drawing conclusions and recommendations that we'll share with you after the session. There's no pre-work that you need to do for this activity, as you've already done that in surviving to this point. So we look forward to you and other like-minded executives joining us for these virtual roundtables as we walk through and explore what our options are moving forward. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to help answer your questions and give you some guidance on this roundtable. Thank you for your time.